You okay? Not 6:30 yet? One minute ahead? I'd like to call to order the Park and Rec Commission meeting of February 23rd, 2023. We do have a quorum. Let's stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from January 26th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a move and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Unfinished business, update on Regner Park Aquatics and Recreation programs.
We are going to turn that over to Mr. Schmidt right away. We're going to let Ryan run this one.
Good.
I think.
All right, so we will start with an update on Regner Aquatics. In regards to the lifeguards, I currently have 15 that are fully hired and ready to work for next summer, minus a few pieces of paperwork here and there, but we'll get that all squared away in the upcoming months. In addition to those 15, I have 13 more candidates that are going to be taking the life course between now and the end of April, whether it's the 5 that are taking it the next 4 Saturdays with me, and then the remaining 8 would be taking it at the YMCA in March or April as well. Assuming that the vast majority of those pass, we should be in a pretty good spot by April to make a determination on the status for next year, in my opinion. Currently working on updating the staff manual to update it and acclimate it or accommodate it to the new beach house. Some of the changes that are going to be happening more so for like the beach house attendants and their duties with all of the new concessions equipment, things of that nature. I have met with Dan. Him and the Forestry crew are going to be moving the location of some of the lifeguard stands. So there's 4 out there now on the beach. And then we're also going to be adding a 5th one. So weather permitting, we'll get that taken care of. The Park and Forestry crew is going to also paint the stands and then put new deck boarding on them where the feet of the lifeguard would go. So just to get everything looking top tier for this summer. Yeah, I posted kind of a general employment flyer, I guess, for all of our summer positions. So looking to fill various sports instructor roles, and then beach house attendants is going to be a big one. So looking for 6 or 8 beach house attendants, just kind of depending on how many hours per week each one wants to work. Just got done with a phone interview with one earlier, so 1 down, 5 or 7 to go. So that's kind of aquatics in a nutshell. If anyone has any questions before I move on to recreation. Mike?
Just a quick question, Ryan. So 15 on board, possible 10 to 12 more, maybe?
Yes.
What typically, I mean, a couple of years ago, how many did you have? Was it 20, 25?
With me taking a guess off the top of my head, in 21, when Nick Lemke was in my position, I believe he had 10 to 12, give or take. It wasn't a very high number.
We were down to 12.
Oh, really?
By the end of the summer.
Okay.
Those guards are working a lot of hours. Too many.
How many do we comfortably need?
Ryan's target is about 20.
Yeah.
20?
Because again, some of them they're going to want 40 hours a week, and some are going to want 10 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
So if we
So-
get 20, we'd be in pretty good
Yeah,
shape.
we'd be in real good
Excellent.
shape.
Good job. Excellent.
So we're getting close.
So, I mean, I also want to shout out to Ryan. I mean, Ryan's been working on this, I mean, almost daily. I mean, he's done an excellent job with it. He's also done a great job partnering with the YMCA to get our certifications taken care of, things like that. The high school pool's also worked out well for that, another great partner for us. Without those other organizations, we'd be in a different situation again. But Ryan's really taken the lead on this, and it's been really successful up to this point. So
Great. Great to hear.
Are you seeing varying candidates, or it's still mostly high school, college?
Mostly high school and college. I did have one that was 55 plus, I want to say. She was going to take it last weekend when I helped instruct at the YMCA for a course, but she dropped due to unforeseen health issue, I think was the reason she cited. So they've been typically your traditional age lifeguards, 15 to 22.
Let's hope maybe we'd see some of the non-traditional people step up. But
No, that unfortunately didn't happen.
good job, though. We're looking good.
All right, so moving on to recreation and other aquatics, so swimming lessons. The big thing right now is the activity guide for the summer. Tanya and Carolyn have been working pretty long and extensive with that, with Jacob from the communications department to get that activity guide ready to go for the summer. Right now, we're pretty close to having it done, just a couple final tweaks, and it should be good to go. Registration for the mud run is set to open on March 1st at 8 a.m., so just around the corner. As a reminder, with some of the changes that we made for this year, as far as starting at 8 a.m. instead of 8:30 and then separating 6-year-olds from the brackets, our maximum enrollment is going to bump to 2,650. I've been working on sponsorships with that, and it's been successful. From the list that we had last year, everyone is back on board aside from 2 that were at the $1,250 sponsorship level, and then I'm still waiting to hear back from 2 additionals that are at the $1,250 level. So I'm confident that the 2 that I haven't heard back from will be there. It's just kind of a waiting game, unfortunately, because they have to present it to their boards and whatnot. Swimming lessons, the first session of that for 2023 is going to wrap up on Saturday. High enrollment numbers. The following Saturday, March 4th, session 2 is going to start. I was kind of revisiting numbers Tuesday or Wednesday this week. Numbers look strong again. 6 instructors, full courses, and then supervisor on deck kind of overseeing everything. Women's Volleyball League, that was 13 weeks. That's coming to an end tonight. So right about now they are starting their tournament. So that's going to come to an end tonight. Champions are going to get some t-shirts that are going to be bought by the Friends of West Bend Parks and Rec. So we've got something fun to play for. Winter gymnastics wrapped up in the middle of February. High enrollment there. We added additional classes to that. Next summer, I think I'm going to look to add more sessions. So instead of being done in the middle of February, add another session from March to the middle of April or whatever it would be, just because I really think that the demand's going to be there. And then on Sunday, we've got the first of our 3 babysitting classes. So that filled out with 10 participants. So that's exciting. And that'll be in the PD classroom on Sunday. So that's kind of what's happening in recreation and aquatics.
Sounds good. Any questions for Ryan?
Any what?
Any more questions for Ryan?
Oh, no.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, new business. Update 2023 project review.
Evening. We've prepared a PowerPoint presentation to better describe the work that we have going on with our projects. The projects listed here are in various phases, from pre-design budgeting all the way to construction. A new playground at Bicentennial Park, 3 projects at Regner, including the beach house parking lot, the Main Street entrance archway, Camp Lodge improvements. Out at Ridge Run, budgeting for the Jim and Ann White family cabin. Lawrann, budgeting, Ice Age Trail, a new trailhead on Washington, and the downtown Riverwalk. Here we have a site plan for Bicentennial Park, the new playground. It shows the 2 existing playground locations. A 3rd area will be prepared for a new swing set area to be added. The existing playground is one of our oldest, if not the oldest. So we're going to be installing new playground equipment, swing set. Here are a couple views, an aerial view of the site, and that gives you a good view of a new ADA walkway that we will add to make it ADA compliant. The playground equipment includes an area for ages 2 to 5, another for ages 5 to 12, and then a swing set that has 4 slots, including an ADA swing, an expression swing, and 2 standard belt swings. At Regner, we're going to be constructing a new 47-car parking lot just to the north of the beach house. This project will hopefully address several areas of need. Following construction of the new parking lot, we anticipate doing pavement repairs to the parking lot, existing lot just north, where access will to the construction site will likely create wear and tear on the pavement. Additionally, the main walkway on the south side of the swimming pond will be reconstructed, widened to 10 feet to accommodate the vehicular traffic for enchantment in the park. Another project that's seen renewed interest is the Main Street entrance archway to Regner Park. We recently met with the Rejuvenation Committee for Regner Park to revisit the designs that were previously developed in 2015, I believe, to get their input moving forward. We're working with the design company that was involved in this level of design to take it to the next step to prepare budgets and identify funding. The Camp Lodge at Regner is in need of some cosmetic as well as upgrades for its use. We've identified a budget of $30,000 to get started with replacement of windows, repairs to the fireplace. We're looking at possibly a gas insert to improve heating and perhaps extend the use of the facility in the spring and fall. Also, siding repairs and doors and windows. The Jim and Ann White family cabin, there's a potential donor. We're looking to develop pricing for a whole host of improvements, everything from structural repairs to the fireplace to all new interior, ceiling, walls, flooring. Then possibly other improvements such as a outside deck or new entrance to the front door with an arbor. At Lawrann, we've been looking at budgeting for the Lawrann board to consider, including improvements to the parking lot, expansion by 23 spaces, adding 2 solar lights to improve visibility in the parking lot. We've also been looking at alternatives for the entrance to the east. In the center, you see the deck that is not ADA compliant. We're looking at a new walkway with a retaining wall. We've also priced alternatives to enhance the entrance with a gabled entry such as it already exists on the south side of the building in the lower center picture. And for the Marin Center, we've looked at maintenance work, including refinishing the wood structure that's fading and resealing. We've been in contact recently with the Ice Age Trail Alliance. They would like to proceed with the plans for a new trailhead off of Washington Street, just west of University. They've engaged Parish Engineering in West Bend to prepare plans for commission approval. We expect to hear back from them in next few months to begin that process. At the downtown Riverwalk, as part of Phase 2, we're looking at improvements to the walkway connection from Main Street to the new Riverwalk. A photo here shows the new stairway that will be constructed to provide updates, code updates, make it compliant with ADA. That'll include new hand railings. But in addition to that, we're looking at structural repairs to the covered walkway, including replacement of the roof, sandblasting and painting the superstructure of the walkway. Lighting enhancements will include what's called festoon or suspended lighting, and a backlighting of the columns. The entry signs that you see in the upper portion are currently unfunded, but are a high priority when funds would become available.
I'm going to touch on some updates for the Riverwalk, Phase 4 Riverwalk. That's the West Bend Company Dam north to Main Street. Right now, the only thing we have remaining is a little bit of railing work and some electrical work. We're waiting on We Energies and a new power source on the north end of that project. Once that's done, we can finish all the electrical work, and Phase 4 will be completed. Phase 2, again, that's from the Mold Bridge going south of Veterans Avenue. That is on schedule to be completed in June of this year. They're pretty much to the point now on that where they're just kind of waiting for warmer weather. The next big thing is going to be flat work. They have a lot of concrete work to do. We'll get some more, like Rick had mentioned, some more alley work done yet this winter and some more electrical work, but we just need, good temperatures that are conducive to start putting some of that concrete down. Phase 3 Riverwalk, you can see in the picture here, they have the stone base, the majority of the stone base down underneath Washington Street for that underpass, which would be pretty cool. Phase 3 schedule, they are way ahead of schedule. Ultimately, they don't need to be completed until June of 24 on this phase. But they're on site, their equipment's on site, staff is on site. Great weather this winter, they just want to keep moving forward. So just because it's a different completion date, things like that, that we have the funding for it, we have it in place. They want to jump ahead and keep going on Phase 3. Awesome, let's get it done. So really super happy with everything that's going on all the phases down there. Contractors doing great, good subcontractors, things like that. So I don't want to jinx it, but so far we haven't found a lot of surprises or any major surprises. So yeah. So a lot of planning went into this project, a lot of permitting, soil testing, all that good stuff. So here we are in full swing, and things are moving along as they should. And again, Phase 3 definitely ahead of schedule. And then the last project is Carl Kuss field improvements. We do have an MOU and a memorandum of understanding with the Baseball Association. Part of that MOU is some of these next fundraising steps. You can see here the flag poles in the outfield. Those poles went in a couple of months ago, and the next big project will be the field lights. They have secured the funding for the field lights. They've already ordered the lights, the equipment. We are actually supposed to meet today, kind of a pre-construction meeting today. Mother Nature postponed that for a week. We're going to meet on site next week to kind of get some of the details nailed down for this project. But as soon as we can get on there I'll say this spring, early summer. We don't want to cause a lot of damage and all that stuff. We'll get out there and we're going to get those light poles up. So it's going to be 6 80-foot poles. So it'll be pretty cool. So we're going to have lights over Carlcus Field again. So,
Nice.
Yep. So
Very good.
So with that, those are just some of the projects that we have scheduled. We have other in-house projects and things, but just wanted to pass along some highlights and some of the things that are out there, some of the things that are going to be coming before the commission, like that archway going into Regner Park, to some building improvements and things like that. So,
Excellent. Any questions for Rick and Mike? Okay, good. Annual Park and Rec Fund fundraising priorities. Is that you, Mike, too?
yes, sir. So with us talking kind of everything aquatics, recreation, and projects tonight, I just wanted to get the some of the ongoing fundraising opportunities, the list out in front of the commission. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on this year, but we are always working with a lot of different community groups. I was trying to list them all today. There's well over 20 different groups we work with throughout the community on different fundraising priorities, really is what it comes down to. I'm not going to talk about every single item on this list. I'll just hit some highlights. If you folks have questions tonight, let me know, or in the future. But fireworks, it's one of those ongoing improvements out of Lawrann are kind of always ongoing. One new one this year is we're going to attempt to do some fundraising to help pay for our lifeguard situation in Regner Park. Ryan's going to get into some of those details here shortly. Another big one that's on here that we haven't talked about much formally is a skate park. What we have, the equipment we have, I'll compare it to a playground. It's not going to last forever, and sooner or later we're going to need to replace it and actually put it in a final resting location, not a parking lot. There is a need for that parking lot where that sits. With the HKS development and some new activities going on over in River Shores, that parking lot is in demand. And so there's going to be more pressure to get that equipment moved. And we're just going to need to do a fundraising campaign and kind of determine a good final resting place for our future skate park. Another somewhat new item is Riverside Ball Diamond. We were working with Thunder Baseball. They are going to try and do a fundraising campaign to raise money for batting tunnels over there at the Riverside Ball Diamond. So again, just another outstanding community group we work with. They have some priorities that support our park system, so we try and work with those groups. I'm going to jump way down on the list. Library Rec Center, we still do have one more phase of potential construction on that. And then I'm going to jump down to the All Abilities Playground. That is another major fundraising project. We have the design. We need to put grading plans together. We basically just need to put the entire project together and then start a formal fundraising campaign for that. We're getting closer to getting that campaign, I'll say, started. We're just trying to get through we're trying to play a little catch up on some of these other projects, Regner parking lot to Bicentennial Playground, things like that. So that's just a brief overview of some of the fundraising priorities that we have.
Any questions, Mike? Oh, looks good. A lot of stuff going on again, so. Next would be request for approval of Regner Beach fee increases.
All right, that is me. So it was brought to my attention that the fees that were proposed and accepted for 2022 in regards to the preseason pass sales and in-season pass sales, the pricing behind them didn't seem to have much consistency. I dug into that, and after doing so, I agreed that there wasn't a lot of consistency behind it. And then Mike also thought that I should maybe do a little bit of comparison to other pools and ponds in the general West Bend vicinity. I did about a 20-mile search just to see kind of where our prices were and if there would be any room to adjust them. With the sheet on page 8, I am proposing 2 options to the commission. The first one would be to, slightly change the preseason, we'll start with in-season. So for youth ages 3 to 15, we would drop down to $40, adults would be $50, and a family would be $130. Proposal 1 is based on there being 10 weeks of summer and each of those groups visiting the Regner Beach once a week. So your daily pass for a youth is $4, multiply that by 10, by 10, 40, same thing with 5. And then for a family, I did 1 adult, 2 children, so 13 times 10. And then you can see that for the preseason pass sale, we would be discounting that by 10%. Moving on to proposal 2, that again, 10 weeks of summer, this would be based on individuals or the family coming 1.25 times per week. So 4 times 12.5, 50, same with 5, 12.25, 62.50, and then 13 times 12.25, 162.50, and then that pricing break for the preseason pass sale would be at 20%. If we take both of those proposed fees and we compare them to the average on the bottom right, excluding West Bend, we are pretty competitive. The only thing, in my opinion, that sticks out is that in proposal 2, the family rate is about $25 higher. Unfortunately, with kind of the beast that is the Recreation Enterprise account, it's my responsibility, I guess, in essence, to generate revenues to cover the cost of providing recreational amenities to those in the city of West Bend and outside communities that choose to use our facilities and programs. I think that one of these proposals would be a good step forward to generate additional revenue, especially when you're considering the $17.50 that's going to be our starting wage for lifeguards in 2023 and moving forward. That's only most likely going to go up, whether we have to do another adjustment 5 years down the road, or you have returning lifeguards that obviously are going to need, I'll just throw out $1 raise every year, whatever that may be. I kind of sat down with Mike in, I'll say October, November, when we were planning our strategy for Regner in 2023. My best estimate is that it's going to cost about $130,000 in 2023 to operate Regner from a staffing standpoint. So that's your beach house assistants, lifeguards, head lifeguards, the bonuses that we're paying all of the lifeguards, the training hours, the certifications at $40 a pop for 20 to 25 lifeguards. All of that stuff adds up. So then I did a little number crunching today, and if we move on to page 9, for the swim pass and wristband sale, I kind of have it broken down in the green bottom portion, I guess. You guys probably, oh, you do have color. So the green portion is just kind of a summary of the daily swim passes and wristband sales. So the top portion is the averages from 2017 to 2019. The middle section is 2021 broken apart. And then the bottom section is 2017 through 2021. All of the averages, the pricing for everything, and then kind of some projected growth, just so you can kind of review that. As a reminder, the pond did not open in 2020, and then 2021 pre-COVID, as you can see, kind of just glancing at it, numbers were lower than they were 2017 to 2019. So if we took the average quantity of the passes sold, factoring in 2021, so if we went 2017 to 2021, average quantity sold, and we went from from the fees that we would have charged in 2022, we would have been at about, in generating revenue, without concessions, we would have been at just under $60,000 based off of those numbers. If we were to implement proposal 1's rates, again, using the same numbers, just changing the rates, the revenue off of Admissions, the passes, daily passes, and season passes jumps to 64,000. And then from proposal 2, we would go to just under $67,000. So proposal 1, in essence, bumps us $4,000 in revenue, and then proposal 2, in essence, $7,000 in revenue. In addition to that, I'm hoping to see a 10% increase in concessions or higher. Super slide days is also another revenue generator for us. We are going to do 2 of those this summer. In addition, one thing I forgot to mention, so concessions, we're obviously having more of an expanded menu this summer. I don't feel safe taking a projection or making a projection for that. I don't know if we're gonna make $2,000 additional dollars or $8,000 additional dollars. That's something that I would address in moving forward to 2024 and factoring that in. That's just my personal preference. I'm hoping that it's a good venture for us, but to what degree, I guess I'm personally not confident saying at this point in time. It's, again, not my goal to outprice anybody. I think when you're kind of comparing these proposal rates to the 10 other facilities that I compared them to, you'll kind of see that the numbers are there. But again, with the Recreation Enterprise Fund, we are going to need all the money that we can get. So then that kind of leaves us with, so what are our projected finances for 2023? So with the $130,000 that we are anticipating with our staffing costs, if we did not do any change to the rate, so we left it as the 2022 rates and numbers, again, based off of the average from 2017 to 2021, we would be losing about $61,000, again, just projections. So we would need to generate $61,000. Proposal 2 would then go down $4,000 to about $57,000. And then with proposal 3, we would be down to $54,000, $54,300, based on my calculations. Again, I don't know if there's really a right answer, but I just view this as a way to generate revenue that the recreation department needs, I guess, to cover its costs with how this section of the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department is set up. Anything that I missed, Mike? That was a lot. Thank you for hanging in there.
No, it's a lot of numbers and it's a lot to digest. Ryan did a good job comparing us to our neighbors. The comparisons that we have in front of us, 8 of those are swimming pools or outdoor aquatic centers. Okay, 2 of them are lakes. Waukesha County those are lakes, and then Lake Glenwood, obviously a lake. So when we look at our comparables, our neighbors, the daily fees we're pretty much right there. The family packages and the preseason swim pass sales and the in-season swim pass sales, we did need some adjustments. And I always wanted to make sure our recreation programs, especially our swimming, is affordable to all families. But as Ryan said, we do need to generate revenues. We do. So proposal 1 is basically a $4,000 increase. Proposal 2 would be about a $7,000 increase. Utilizing average participation numbers, things like that. So, yeah.
How do I put this? I want to guarantee to make it affordable for families. And if they do it preseason, they save the money. So, I think we're going to have to push more preseason. If you can't afford it as a family, we have to get out there with that, okay? Right. But the gist of the story is you have to make some money here. There's no doubt about it. We do. You can't be 60 grand short. Where is that going to fall from? So, I don't know. Just me, I'd be in favor of proposal number 2. It's a little higher, but it still isn't that greatly higher. That's my 2 cents.
Ryan, in proposal 1, you got the in-season pass sales, ages 3 to 15, and ages 16 and older, you got them going down compared to 2022.
Right. So Again, so that's just based off of the I guess the formula behind it. So again, that would just be so you can be transparent with people if they have questions. How are you forming these? So proposal 1, 10 weeks of summer, you go once a week. It takes you 10 times to break even. So unfortunately that goes down, but on the next page, if you kind of glance at the quantity sold of each one, the passes as far as family is going to be more than likely what we're selling the most of instead of just the youth and just the adult. So that's really where we're going to capture the excess revenue is in the family passes.
Any other more discussion? We do need a motion here, I believe,
yep.
right?
Or
Keep it as is, or propose number 1 or proposal number 2?
I'd move to propose proposal 2.
a second.
Motion.
We got a motion and a
Is that a
second.
motion?
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, hang on. Craig, you made the motion?
Yes.
Who second? Me. Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I guess we go to, boy, Brian, you're on duty today, I'm telling you. Program fees, I think is next, right?
A little break. All right. Program fees, we are on page 10 in the packet. I'll just go one by one. Archery, no changes from the fees last year. Youth dance, so ballet, tap, jazz, and POMs. No change in the prices. We did add a new POMs class. Monica, our dance instructor, head dance instructor of 3 years, came to me with that idea. We decided to proceed with it. The recital fee for that is going to be the $19 to help cover the cost of the 35 pairs of pom-poms that I received today. Baseball, youth baseball, no change. Youth basketball in the summer, no change. Mud run for kids, no change. Youth gymnastics, no change. Soccer, no change. Softball league, no change in the price. We did change the late registration fee back about 2 weeks just to give people some leeway while they're trying to figure their summers out. Sporties for shorties, no change. Swimming lessons, we did make a change to this. However, it was just to be consistent. Typically the Red Cross swimming lessons that we instruct are 8 30-minute courses. So I kind of recalibrated our weekend ones, which were less expensive in the past. So by tacking 10 minutes onto each one, we had that magic number of 240 minutes or whatever. So there is a change there. However, it's just consistency to year round. We can say it's going to be 40 resident, 60 non-resident. Tennis league, we increased that $2 residents, $3 non-residents. Returning staff, Seth Brunig is the East varsity tennis coach, so he'll be returning. Obviously, we're very fortunate to have him. Instructors of that quality cost money, and then they are a t-shirt program as well. So just a little increase there to help cover the cost of that, staffing for that. On top of Seth, there's typically 4 instructors there as well. Tennis lessons, no change there. Volleyball, no change. Youth theater, no change. And then women's health and fitness, similar to the the swimming lessons. We went from 11 weeks to 8 weeks just because on that we can do 8 weeks essentially year round. So it's just consistency from a pricing standpoint. So that is everything recreation in-house. Any questions before we move on to contracted programs? All right. So contracted, adult learn to golf. This had been offered in the past as I was digging through the archives. We did not offer it in 2022. This is out at the Bog, basically the same camp as the youth one, so $130. We would keep about $20 per participant. Chess camp, they had contacted me. That is going to be in the LRC, and it's taught by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Chess Association, so they would have an instructor on site. $79, we would get 16 per participant for that. It's a week-long camp, 3 hours a day. Fitness boot camps, I had another individual reach out to me. His name is Jack Anderson. He's been doing this for quite some time, kind of in the Hartford area. Definitely wanted to get him on board. So he does quite a few of them. The first one that he does is called Flippin' on the Move Fitness for Kids. So they'll kind of utilize some of the gymnastics equipment that we have down in the LRC. And then it works out nicely because the age that he starts at is where our gymnastic ends. So hopefully we can capture some of those kids at the tail end of their gymnastics career with us. Intermediate and Advanced Pickleball League, that is a Mike McGuire program. We've been doing quite a few kind of clinics with him. So that's going to be an adult league based on skill at Regner. Junior golf, no change with that. We ran that program last year out at the Bog. Junior Pickleball Academy is Mike McGuire as well. So we are going to incorporate that into kind of our rec program schedule for the summer. So session 1, 3 weeks for $75. Second session after the 4th of July, 4 weeks, $100. Kick Sports USA, that's another Jack Anderson program in the LRC. 2 sessions. One's going to be, it's 2 nights a week. The $20 one is 1 night a week. The 2 night a week one is $39. Again, just based on what people want to do. Private piano lessons, we will be doing those in the LRC with, her name is Sharon Hatch. She is currently doing them at the West Bend Music Academy. Approached me about switching over. So it will be $88 for 4 30 to 35 minute lessons. We will be keeping $20 of those. She's starting actually March 1st with that, pending approval tonight. Rounding out contractor programs, a self-defense workshop, that's Jack Anderson again. He is going to be doing that on a Saturday in the LRC. It's going to be a 2-hour clinic. Speed and strength for sports is Jack Anderson again. That'll be outdoors at Riverside. And stretch and walk for adults is Jack Anderson again, $20 Riverside. Just kind of widening our offerings for the summer. So I'm excited. As you can see, the vast majority of those are new programs, and I'm hoping that they'll really take off. And even though they're not our programs per se, it's obviously great to be associated with them. And
Ryan, on the ones that you just said new program, do we not retain anything from those?
oh, sorry. So the asterisk. So we will get 10% of the ones with single asterisks behind them, and then 20% of the junior golf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I should have clarified that. So yeah, with the Jack Anderson individual, I was pushing for higher because he hasn't been in this market before. He wanted lower, so we came to the agreement with 10%, and then we would recalculate next year should we do it. So unfortunately, lower than we would like to be this year, but assuming everything works out, we'll get that additional percentage next year. So.
I like to see the pickleball thing because that's become a hot.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be 18 years and under, or are you expecting like 12-year-olds, or what are you expecting there?
So for the junior league, I apologize. I should have the drafted activity guide in front of me, but I believe it was like 12 and up was his preference, so like 12 to 18.
Okay.
And then for the leagues, probably 16 and up, 18 and up.
Because it's a hot commodity out there right now.
Definitely.
So good.
Mm-hmm. There's no other questions. Regner Beach, no changes in the daily passes 4 and 5. And then with the approval tonight, we will be going from 35 to 40 for preseason youth, from 40 to 50 for adult preseason sales, and then from family 75 to 130. In-season pass sales, youth 45, we're gonna jump to 50. For adult, 55 to 62.50, and then family and pass sales from $100 in 2022 to $162.50 in 2023. All good there? All right. And then LLC, Courtney couldn't be here tonight for her adventure camp. She is proposing a $10 increase for residents and $15 increase for non-residents. For a Raising Monarch Butterflies class, no change. Birding in West Bend, new name. There's not going to be a fee change for that. Healthy Families Hiking, increasing that by $4 for residents and $6 for non-residents. Junior Naturalist Camp, increasing that $5 for residents and $7.50 for non-residents. Little Hikers and West Bend Birdathon, no change in those fees.
Any questions for Ryan? Well, I believe we approved the Regner beach stuff already, right? So I think right now we need approval for the summer 2023 program fees and the LLC fees. So do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
We got a move to approve?
Second.
Yeah, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, orienteering course improvements at Glacier Blue Hills.
All right, I will start it off, and then we have a special guest with us this evening to provide us with some more detailed information. The Badger Orienteering Club approached us, and they would like to volunteer and improve the orienteering course out at Glacial Blue Hills. The current orienteering course and layout has been around since 1987. It's done a good job. Throughout the years, there have been some upgrades. I can say right now, if you go out there, you can stop at our office and get this big plexiglass thing, and you can slide your map in and figure out where you're going with your coordinates. I think the new proposal using a smartphone might be a little more conducive than 1987, but the course we have is great. It's done a great job for us throughout the years. But maybe it's time for an upgrade. So with us this evening is Anthony Lighton. Oh, sorry. Come on up to the microphone, and Anthony can kind of enlighten us a little bit as to what their plans might be out there.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony. I'm a board member of the Badger Orienteering Club, and basically, you guys have the terrain and the park, and I have the resources with the club. And what I'm looking to do is basically just upgrade it. What you have out there right now, if none of you are familiar with it, it's these signs. And I brought an example. You have these signs that look like this on a post, and you get a topographical map to go find them. Well, we have, the Badger Orienteering Club already has 2 of these courses in the northern Kettle Moraine, and I happen to be coming down to Glacial Hills to bike, and I saw, wow, you guys have a course already. So I went on your website, I did some digging, and looked at that map, and oh my gosh, it's really old. And me as an orienteering hobbyist, I know how to make these maps, so I spend a lot of time out there, just creating a map, and I pitched it to Mike and his crew, met with them, and they liked the idea, so that's why I'm here tonight. What we offer too, like he was talking about with the QR code, so our signs are smaller, so it kind of makes it a little bit harder to find, but yet we don't want anyone just grabbing them that's not interested in orienteering. And then it's got a little QR code, so it is interactive with the younger crowd. If they want to time themselves, they can go up to it with their phone and scan it, and then they can time how long it takes from control to control. So basically, I'm here if you have any questions about orienteering or a do-it-yourself course. But yeah, I see just from what I'm hearing tonight, you guys are all about making improvements. Our club is totally funded, be no cost to you guys. We would take care of it all. We have about 100 members in our club, and we're 100% volunteer.
So again, with the course they are proposing, everyone should have this map of the Collins Lake area. This is the dog training area up in Dundee. It's kind of cool. You get up there, there's no giant maps and billboards or anything else like that, but there's a QR code on the backside of one of the signs, and you can basically get checked in that way. And you can basically time yourself from point to point, from checkpoint to checkpoint. They do have different programs so you can download and track yourself and all that, but one thing that I like about it is they can utilize the terrain we have out there, but people don't have to come to City Hall to get this old, dinosaur here. On their own time, things like that, they can go out there and do the orienteering course on a Saturday, a Sunday, whatever they might want to do. They would look at Glacial Blue Hills, pretty much the proper, or the Glacial Blue Hills Park, north of Beaver Dam Road first, and then at some point in time, maybe even expand it to the south, along the Ice Age Trail, things like that. We did review this with the Gears organization, because we have the mountain biking trails out there, and we also have the Ice Age Trail out there, and both organizations have no concerns with the orienteering opportunities. Actually, they welcome it, so.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, it is. I mean, 15 years ago, Glacial Blue Hills is basically some old trails with the Ice Age Trail walking through it, or cutting right through the middle of it, and now it's this piece of property that is being utilized by some really cool organizations, so.
Well, I like it that you got membership, 100 people, and you're willing to do the work and
Yeah.
improve it. It's going to improve
Great.
it.
It costs us nothing.
Don't
You
cost you
can't beat
nothing.
that plan.
Yeah.
So I think we need a motion to
I'll
approve.
move to approve.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Not in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for waiting till we got through all.
Yeah, we should have
Yeah.
bumped you first.
No problem.
Not done yet.
I'm not done yet, right?
That's right, you got the next one. Special event.
I will get started on this, and then again, Anthony's here to answer any additional questions. The Elk Bones Adventure Racing Group and Our Gears organization are requesting approval to hold Chasing the Bone Adventure Challenge in West Bend on April 29th, 2023. The event will utilize Regner Park Camp Lodge, Kister Island Parking Lot, Quas Creek Canoe Launch, Glacial Blue Hills. The race will include canoeing, biking, hiking, and orienteering. It's kind of, I don't want to give away all your secrets because it's really kind of a cool setup. They'll have 100 to 150 participants. They don't know exactly where they're starting to race from, things like that. So it's kind of cool how they have it set up. But the general idea would be finish line headquarters is Camp Lodge, Kister Island parking lot. They would start from there, canoe down the river to Quas Creek where their bikes are. They would have two courses. One's a 9-hour race and one's a 4-hour race. Yeah, Mike, I would be at the 4-hour, not the 9.
I'll be at the 2-hour.
Half an hour.
So they start the longer race first. They get to Quas Creek. They start biking. They actually bike up to Newfane, and they do some things up there and then back into West Bend. And then a 4-hour course. They get to Quas Creek. They bike out to Glacial Blue Hills, do some orienteering, and then finish at the Camp Lodge. This event was reviewed by the police and fire department. We wanted to make sure safety, security, someone gets hurt on the river, someone's biking, things like that. We can, provide proper first aid and then obviously PD with road crossings and all that stuff. So it's not a mass start where they have 500 people at one start line and are all running across Main Street and all that stuff. Nothing like that. Basically, they have 30 minutes to start, right, Anthony?
A 30-minute start window.
Yeah, so they have a start window. So you want to start 10 minutes into it or whatever you can. So, Anthony, am I missing?
I mean, the reason why I chose West Bend, we've been running this event for about 8 years now. We typically like the state forest, but we like to keep them, the race pretty much secret. They show up and they're problem solving. They receive maps. They don't know where they're going until till we tell them. And what they're doing is basically they're locating checkpoints. And I brought an example of a checkpoint. It's like a little kite that we usually just hang places temporarily for the day or the 9 hours, and then we pick them up. But this is what they look like. They're locating these checkpoints, which are on their maps. And yeah, the sport, typically the events are paddling, biking, and navigation. And when I discovered what you have in the city, I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to have an event here. So that's where started out with Mike again, and ran that idea by them, and they got excited. Which got when people hear about this stuff, I get excited explaining it to them, and hopefully getting some more participants that way too. But hey, you guys have an excellent, the river and the terrain and the safety of the bike trails. I mean, that's perfect for an event.
So they run the item on that?
No,
Bike ride?
No, they would be on the road. So from Quas Creek to Newfane or Quas Creek to Glacial Blue Hills, they choose their own route.
Oh, can go
So,
whatever.
yep, so, and that's
You don't
kind
have
of,
100 bikes all on the same.
right. So we
choose their
wouldn't,
route.
yeah, we wouldn't need police officers or CSOs to close intersections or anything else like that. So, and again, the first group goes north, once it won't take much from Quas Creek, they'll be out of town. And then the other ones, from Quas Creek out to Glacial Blue Hills, and it's a timed race and all that, whatever, but it's not, they're not going from A to B at 100 miles an hour, right? It's not a sprint.
That sounds
You know,
like a cool
sort of
event.
We also have 2 start windows. The 9 hour begins at 9 a.m. and then the 4 hour starts at noon. So we like to keep everybody spread out, but yet have accountability of them as well.
Well, I think it's great for the city of West Bend. That's what we're about. We want groups like you coming here for this, so.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
I would also like to move to waive the park fees, so because of the work that they're doing at Glacial Blue on the orienteering course.
Could we get the original motion amended then?
I will amend the motion to exclude, which one do you, the impact fee or which one are you
$100.
talking about, the 100?
Right, the 100 or the 50?
100.
So I will amend my motion to exclude the $100 park facility impact fee.
Okay,
Otherwise approved.
we got a motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Good
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, guys.
Overnight camp at Lawrann Conservancy.
This is the annual request from Shorewood High School to allow their students to camp at Lawrann Conservancy overnight. They do a canoe trip. They start from Mothi Lake, and they canoe all the way down to, they start at Mothi Lake, they canoe down to the Milwaukee Harbor, and they overnight camp in the parking lot at Lawrann. We have the outdoor restrooms available for them. Last year, they had inclement weather. Us and the police department got them moved into the building. Tornado whistles were blowing and all that good stuff. But again, it's a good location for that, so.
Oh, yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next would be donations.
All right, I have those. So we have 3 tonight. 1 is not listed. The first one is from Gears Incorporated. They have donated some trail grooming equipment, a mower, snowmobile, and snow dog with a value of $5,450. So thank you to Craig and the Gears Group for taking on that. Second donation we have is from Dielectric Manufacturing. They are a sponsor of the Dirty Ninja Mud Run for Kids. We've received their check already. Check was for $1,250. So thank you to Dielectric Manufacturing. And the unlisted donation is from Bank 59. They are another Dirty Ninja Mud Run for Kids sponsors. They are at the Ninja Warrior level, which is $2,500. So thank you, Bank 59, for supporting the Mud Run again this year. That is it for donations.
Do we got a motion to approve the donations? Do we need one? Yes. Yep.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Right, motion second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next is the meeting dates, update, second revised. You have a copy of it here, right here, so.
Yeah, I think it was, we don't have to approve it. I think
Right.
the March date, I think at one point in time, 2 different calendars came out.
Yep.
So, and
Yeah.
we just wanted to make sure that,
Everybody's got the,
yep, that we had to correct.
no problem.
We didn't want to say, remember that one you received?
Good. Thanks, Mike. Next report's chairman. I just want to say, as always, boy, there's a lot of things going on in West Bend. So keep up the good work, guys. Like I said, I'm sure the city of West Bend, the people in the West Bend are going to back you with all this good stuff going on. So Mike Weston's a smart guy. He's in sunny weather, so he's not pushing snow right now. So next we have the quarterly trust report.
Okay, everyone should have the report in front of them. Everything's pretty much kind of status quo. I will note that the dog park fees, this report is the end of the year, 2022. So we will have the 23 increase for fees for the dog park. We as a staff are going to be meeting out there, reviewing some of our priorities, and we want to start kind of master planning again with the dog park volunteers as far as utilization of these funds. So it's is a good situation to have for that out there. So,
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
thank you.
Conservation Supervisor Courtney, Mike had sent an email out. Everybody should have got what she's all doing. She's got her hands full too. I don't know if you read it or you need anybody's got a question on it, I guess, would be, no, we should be good. Parks Project Manager, Rick?
I really don't have anything to add beyond the presentation.
I figured that.
Questions?
Okay, Ryan, you got some more stuff for us?
I do not, so just excited for summer.
Great. Also, Mike had sent an email out for Dan about the Forestry Superintendent, all the stuff they're working on right now. If you have any questions, I'm sure Mike could answer that. Okay, last but not least, Mike.
As we've all listened over the last hour tonight, we have a lot of cool projects and some really fun programs, a lot of new programs this summer. I'm really excited for our summer season, our growing season. I think it's going to be pretty outstanding. And again, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I was trying to list today, the different groups we work with and volunteer organizations like Anthony's group, coming forward to help us not only with the project, but a really cool event. I think the Chasing a Bone event's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'll watch it, Chevy. Thanks. But that's what we want to do. We want to provide those opportunities, for the families, to individuals, to all different capabilities and wants and needs. So I think we're covering a lot of it. A lot of the new programs Ryan has, from the youth pickleball programs to adult to swimming to our dance and volleyball and everything else that we're offering. So I think it's just an awesome opportunity for vendors to get out there and just enjoy their community. So thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Any more questions for Mike? Is there anything else for the good of the Park and Rec Commission tonight? Meeting adjourned.